Hello, everyone, and welcome here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. We're proud to be on site, on location, making history with Alfred University and our exclusive multimedia marketing partnership. The student athletes here of any sport have never had media day interview opportunities, and we are bringing that to them in these specials. And I am very honored, privileged, and very blessed, honestly, to be able to do this. So Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora and Dan Tortora Broadcast Media, bringing you the Saxons. I am here with cornerback of Alfred University's football program, Keenan Ollison. Sir, good to have you here.
Good to be here.
I want to talk about your last name because we were talking off the air, and I covered Pitt and Quadri Ollison. Your brother plays running back. I didn't know, and I don't feel like anybody ever corrected anybody, but you said everybody says Allison and it's Ollison. And I told you, I was like, correct me. Tell me when I'm wrong. So how does your family just deal with the fact that everybody says you and Quadri's last name wrong when we're talking about football?
It's actually kind of different in my family because like one of my uncles prefers Allison.
Okay.
Everyone else says Ollison.
Okay.
So it just depends like on the preference of where you're at.
Okay. So, but it's Ollison.
Yeah, I say Ollison.
So that's what we should say.
Right.
Okay. So has your brother gotten over it, having played at Pitt and been around the NFL, being in Jacksonville at the time that we're talking? Has he gotten to a point where he's like, whatever?
Yeah. It's nothing now. It's just second nature to him now.
Okay. Okay. Fair enough. So we got to see the first preseason game. He's playing for my Jaguars, which I really want him to stay there because I've tried to track him coming out of Pitt and being like, okay, he's here and he's here. And you're trying to catch on and make your hay there as a running back. And we know running backs right now, the Derrick Henrys of the world and the Delvin Cooks and whatnot, there's this total disrespect to the position. How do you feel about your brother kind of having to bounce around? And do you feel like eventually it's just going to click somewhere?
I think it's just God's timing.
Yeah.
You know, eventually you'll get your opportunity to showcase what you can do, you know, on the biggest stage, you know. So I think over time, you know, you just wait for that opportunity, and when it comes, you just make the most of it.
How does he make you better?
He just pushes me to be better in general. You know, obviously like growing up, it's always, you know, the comparison, but you know, he just tells me to keep my head level, keep it down and just focus, you know, and just be the best that I can do.
How do you make him better?
Because I want to be almost like the big brother figure, you know, even though I'm little bro, you know, I still like even when we work out and stuff, you know, I gotta show him like I'm getting stronger, I'm getting faster and stuff. And me being on the defensive side of the ball, you know, the trash talk gets going and stuff, and I just bring, you know, competitiveness.
So do we have family barbecue pickup games?
No, not now. We don't. When he was at Pitt, we used to, but now, you know, he was into keeping his body healthy and all that stuff. But he don't really, you know, get too crazy out there.
Does he call you up and kind of talk with you about this road of understanding that life can be a business, and you know, when you love something, you really just have to dedicate yourself to it and understand that you could do nothing wrong, yet things might not go your way, because obviously he's endured that.
Yeah, we talk a lot. You know, we talked yesterday after the game and stuff like that. But, you know, even like the past few years, you know, I even just tell him, you know, I haven't been in that position, but like you always tell me, just keep my head down, you know, stay level and just, you know, go with the, you know, the wave, you know. So he tells me how everything's going, you know, how the business is going and stuff. But, you know, when you love something, you'll find the, you know, ability to do it.
You know, and I spoke to a class years ago on entrepreneurship and business, and I didn't, you know, I had slides, but I didn't want to write down my speech because I always want to speak from what I feel and speak from my heart. I didn't know if anything sunk in, and at the end of my speech, I was like, hey, did anybody take anything away? And like pretty much every hand got raised, and I was like, oh, really? You know, and I was like, well, good, you know, I'm happy with that. And the teacher started talking, and I said, something hit me. And I was like, can I say something else? I was like, there's one, like, I have to say this. And she's like, yeah, of course. And the day that I said this many years ago, I've never forgotten it. And it's with anything in life. You will realize in life the difference between I love it or I think I love it.
Right.
Because if you love it, and that could be a person, it could be a job, it could be a sport, it could be a place you live, whatever. If you love it, you will always find a way.
Right.
If you think you love it, you will run from it.
Mm,
The first sign of adversity.
mm.
So why do you know that you love football and it's not that you just think you do?
Well, like for me, personally, like going through injuries and stuff like that, it's easy to get an injury and be out for the season and not be able to help the team, like your brothers and stuff. But for me, I've been playing since I was a kid, so it's almost like instilled in me and like my brother and stuff to just keep going no matter like what's thrown at us. Just a desire to be better.
You're at Brockport
Mm.
a couple of years. You get injured, COVID hits, all this stuff goes on. So by the time you come out of Alfred, you're going to be able to get a doctorate.
Mm.
So how have you looked at your timeline of being at a school, then realizing, okay, maybe this isn't the right fit for me, then COVID, then injury? How have you navigated all of this? Because it's a lot. I mean, you're a young person in society going through an injury that you can't control,
Mm.
COVID that you can't control, and then coming to a school where some things might happen that you can't control.
I just take it day by day. Everything can happen overnight, and I understand that. So I'm thankful for the path that I've been on and everything that's happened. It's made me who I am, and it's bettered me, for the future. But I just embrace each day, and just try to get better at what I'm doing.
You talk about how there's comparisons between you and Quadri because he's obviously played, D1, he's in the NFL. But who's Keenan?
I'm somebody that's just, myself. I don't let, the comparisons or chatter, get to me. I know what kind of player I am. I know what I bring to the table. And that's something that he's always told me. We play different positions, a different path, and Keenan is just somebody who understands his path. I try my best each and every day to, achieve me and be the best that I can be. So down the road, I can look back and say I did everything I could.
Why did you want to be a corner?
I just feel like shutting down half of the field, is just more, I don't know, it gives you like a rush, knowing that I can make the play or the game changing play on defense rather than scoring, because obviously I feel like defense is harder than offense, but just being able to make that play and being out there, giving the aggression rather than taking it, I just fell in love with it.
You said given the aggression rather than taking it. Where does that come from? How do you turn it on when you go onto the field and become that aggression?
You just lock in, you just get into like the right mind state and like the right setup and just understand, like for me it's just the crowd. The crowd brings me into it, knowing that my friends, my family, like my brothers are here, and it just makes me want to go out there and play harder for them.
When you're on the road, like you said, when the crowd's there for you, it's great.
Mm-hmm.
When you're on the road, how do you not hear it?
I just block it out. I understand that, they're going to be against me and like my team. And then I just really, I focus on me. I just get into my headspace and understand that, everyone else's family or friends may be here, against us and rooting against us. But understanding that I can still make the plays that I can at home, just bringing that, intensity on the road and just trying to help my team win, just focus up.
How do you develop mental health, strong mental kind of fortitude and just having that toughness? How do you create that? Because it doesn't just happen.
Just understanding everything isn't easy. I always tell people, and they tell me when I was growing up, it feels easy, everyone will do it. So understanding that if the games were meant to be easier, the practices were meant to be easy, then everyone will be here doing it. But understanding that each situation I've been in and I'll continue to go through, it just continues to build, the mental toughness, the physical toughness.
So for you, Keenan, being a corner, like you said, you like being the aggression. Do you feel like there's been times in games where a quarterback doesn't want to throw to your island?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Does that get you hype when that happens?
It gets me hype.
When you're like, man, he hasn't come here in a few possessions.
Yeah, but it's also like a respect thing too, because like, you go against QBs who throw at you and the QBs who don't, but it's also a respect factor, after the game to tell you, good job, great game and stuff. But during the game, I just try my best, to help my teammates in other ways if they're not coming my way.
Would you rather them throw at you or no?
I like it.
Okay.
I like the energy. I like the action of it.
Is there something better on the field that you've experienced other than an interception, pick six? Is there anything better than that in your opinion?
besides getting the win, I like seeing like if I'm not, getting an interception or pick, like, my brother's doing it. Like my brother on the D line gets a strip sack, or my linebacker brother gets a big hitter, forced fumble. Like seeing that and seeing like all the hard work that we put in practice, actually be able to be distributed in the game and then make the plays that they practice over and over again. I think that's a great feeling.
Having Alfred on your front and Ollison on your back, what does that mean to you to have both families?
I think it's great. It means a lot only because, Alfred teaches brotherhood, they preach culture. And for me, we're always taught that no one person is bigger than the goal. So even with me, having my last name and, the position that I'm in, I just try to bring, my athletic ability, my brother ability, to Alfred and just try to, mesh it all together.
So you're from where originally?
Niagara Falls.
Niagara Falls.
Mm-hmm.
So not too far.
Mm-hmm.
How did Alfred come about for you?
Around the time COVID hit, I was just, juggling schools at which I could attend and, hopefully better and just, make my home. And, I've talked to Coach Ranko before, coming out of high school and stuff. And we kind of just talked and ended up clicking. So then I ended up coming here visiting, and then I decided Alfred was the place to be.
Did you not visit the first time around?
I didn't visit because I didn't have a chance to. I had already had the school pick that I was going to attend.
Okay.
But after, juggling the schools, I seen how Coach Ranko, interacted with us on the recruiting journey, and that kind of stuck with me later.
Why was he different?
He just, it was more so like a culture, like I said before. Some schools can come recruit you, and they can tell you what they have and how to be on game days and stuff. But to hear Coach Ranko actually preach, first brotherhood. You're gonna come in, it's gonna be a brotherhood. It wasn't just about football.
Coming from Niagara Falls, people travel all over the world to see Niagara Falls. Mm-hmm. To you, you're like, whatever. It's just a waterfall, not a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, like, I even tell people, like, I go visit the falls occasionally, so I don't take it for granted. But to me, it's just like something I've seen, all my life.
Yeah.
But it's still good, even at nighttime, it's really great. So I just try to embrace it.
How many times do you walk by someone proposing?
I haven't walked by anybody yet.
All right. I'm sure it happens. So before we get into rapid fire, would you choose Alfred again?
Of course. I think Alfred, like me picking Alfred, ended up working in everyone's favor, like me, the coaches, and everyone I've encountered. I've met people here that I'll be friends with for the rest of my life. I've made memories that I'll have for the rest of my life. And looking back, I wouldn't change it because it's made me who I am now.
Love that. Cornerback of the Saxons, Keenan Ollison, here with me as we make history on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora with Alfred University. Rapid fire time. You get the first question.
What's your favorite food?
Oh man, I've been asked this, so I'm gonna pick something different. My favorite food. I'm Italian and Hispanic, so I just started making my own homemade tostadas.
Okay.
So I put this lettuce, carrot mix on the bottom, little vegetable, and then I do ground turkey with taco seasoning, put that on top of the vegetables. Then I have a blended mix of cheeses, and then what I put on top of mine is I put hot honey on top of mine. It's good. It's really good.
I'm gonna have to check it out.
Yeah, that's good. All right, I'm gonna throw it back at you. What's your favorite food?
I'm a mac and cheese kind of guy, homemade. Okay, but it has to be the mac and cheese and the yams combo. I can't just have one together. It has to be together.
I love both of those things. I make a common sweet potato, but I make homemade sweet potato. Okay. So I do it the way I want to say the way my grandma did it, but together. When you said it like that, I'm like, can we get that now? Who's making you make it? Somebody who makes it.
My mom.
Your mom. What's your mom's first name?
Cameo.
Cameo. So Cameo. I'm sure you're coming out to the football games this year. We're gonna keep in touch, Keenan and I. I would appreciate if you brought some of this out. Is it all mixed together?
No, so it's two different sides.
But you just mix it?
Yeah.
Oh god.
You gotta eat it together.
Sounds so good.
Got to.
So mac and cheese though, what kind of mac and cheese?
Homemade.
But creamy? Are we doing real cheese? Are we doing liquid cheese? Are we baking it? What are we doing?
Oh, baked mac with
pepper.
The real cheese.
Okay.
Baked mac with the real cheese.
I like it with pepper.
Different cheeses. You got to throw the salt and pepper in there.
Yeah.
Sure. But definitely homemade baked.
God. Cameo. Where are you right now? I'm so hungry. All right, what's your second? Or yeah, what's your second question for me?
Favorite football movie of all time.
Favorite football movie. I got to pick the one that came to my mind first. Remember the Titans, because I watched it during COVID, and I'd already seen it, but I watched it during COVID, and I put out a message, and I said, as a country, we should watch this movie right now and probably listen to it because some people still haven't gotten it. So I put that out there. I'm like, I don't know why I'm watching this movie and still feeling like America hasn't changed, but I don't know. Like, I don't see color. I don't see you have a different religion. I don't see you are, I'm a man, you're a woman. I just don't see that stuff. I just like, there's only one type of person I don't like, and I'm not going to swear on my show, so I'll abbreviate. I call them diligent a-holes.
Right.
People that wake up every day like, I hate my life, so I'm gonna try and get you to hate yours. There's nobody else I don't like. Like, I don't get this whole like, we're different colors, so we're different.
Right.
How are we different? You want to be healthy, I want to be healthy. We want to be in a safe neighborhood, good education. You probably want people to come after you to have even better life than you did.
Right.
You want to have enough money doing what you love and loving what you do that you can go on vacation, have a good time, pay your bills. Safety, security. Like, I don't understand. We're not different, but there's powers within this country that I feel like want us to believe that if you look different and sound different, you're different.
Right.
And I think that that's ridiculous.
I agree.
So I think Remember the Titans is such like an honest, like, here it is, look at it. And I still feel like some people don't look at it. And I mean, hate is taught, love is taught. No child grows up angry,
Right.
unless they're taught to be. So I just feel like we just have to do a better job. And I don't understand why it's so hard. So I Remember the Titans, because why not? All right, my second question for you, Keenan. We're gonna go on a musical tour. You and I are gonna go on 3 tour buses.
Right.
Who are we touring with? Keep in mind, I listen to all kinds of music, so send me wherever you want to send me. As long as it's not screaming music or like some wildly disrespectful, I'll go with you.
Okay, I gotta go with one of the buses has to just be R&B. So all the R&B.
Speak my language. All right.
From the 90s and 2000s.
We're gonna go on a Motown bus.
Yeah, we gotta go.
New Edition, Boys to Men.
Yep.
Okay.
Usher, like Luther Vandross, like they all gotta
You
be.
speaking my language right
They
now.
gotta be on the same bus.
I wish Luther was still here with us.
I do too.
Yeah.
That's like an unappreciated town.
Yeah.
Like, people
Dance
don't
with My
understand.
Father's my mom's favorite song.
Yeah. People don't understand that. I'd have to go Lil Wayne to mix it up.
I got a favorite Lil Wayne line. You want to hear it?
I do.
So I do impression. I've done impressions my whole life, but so the Lil Wayne, you know how he's got that little raspy, you know. And so I don't know why this is my favorite line, but it's I walk light, so I don't piss the ground out. I don't know why I love that, but I'll do it in the grass sometimes when I'm like playing football. I'll tiptoe in the grass. But okay, I love it. Wayne is just good.
Yeah.
He's
top 5 all time.
Yeah, the ice cream paint job.
Yeah.
So many people sampled that. His sampling of that and like working in the sprinkles and everything. Like, man, it's just, I love his music.
Yeah, Wayne's definitely one of the goats.
So you picked 2 incredible buses. One more. Let's go 3 for 3.
3 for 3.
Let's see if you can read my mind.
Read your mind. Now, is your mind thinking old or new?
I like both.
New.
We went old R&B, so
Old.
I was just listening to TLC on the way here.
I would have to say, like, to actually experience, like Michael Jackson.
All right.
You got to.
I'm with you.
I got to.
That's who I credit with teaching me how to dance. I used to just watch him, and in my grandmother's living room, the floor was like slippery with your socks on. So I would train myself to like how many times I could spin and stop, grab my hat, do all that stuff. So yeah, Michael Jackson's, as I said, tell people all the time, I'm like, that's how I learned how to dance.
I still can't moonwalk, so.
Oh, I can move.
It's a
I can
little
moonwalk.
disappointing, but I
You got to wear the
haven't
right
figured
shoes.
I haven't figured it out.
Oh, I'll
I-
teach you how to moonwalk.
All right,
Okay. All right. So what's your last one for me?
my last one. Your favorite football player all time?
Well, I'm a Jaguar fan because of Fred Taylor.
Okay.
Shout out Fred. But favorite of all time. I feel like Trevor Lawrence has got a shot with me because I covered him at Clemson and now he's my quarterback.
Okay.
So we got to keep him though.
Okay.
Got to keep him forever.
So
Wait.
if it wasn't your favorite player, what will be your favorite sports moment?
Sports moment. Oh boy. Well, I mean, seeing all my teams win, but probably when my hometown, when Syracuse won the men's basketball title, that was something else. A part of, like, I still can go back to that moment when my mom, my dad, and my dog Shady, and I still am like, did that happen?
Right.
I was like, I looked at my dad, I was like, I thought Syracuse sucked. I was like, I thought Syracuse wasn't on the map. I thought I was talking about nobody else because I picked him to win that year.
Right.
So one of two people in my class. So yeah, probably that. So you said something when we were talking about the buses. There's a very underappreciated Chris Rock movie. It's called Top 5. Have you seen it?
Maybe way back, but not recently.
So you need to watch Top 5.
Okay.
Because it's a movie like you'll watch it and you'll want to watch it again like that day. So it's Chris Rock. There's a ton of people in it. Girl I have a crush on, Rosario Dawson's in it. So, but the whole movie is called Top 5 because they talk about the top 5 greatest rappers. So I want your top 5.
My top 5.
Yeah.
You
said Wayne was in it.
Wayne's in it.
Okay.
I'm biased, so I'm picking Rod Wave and Meek Mill. I've been biased for years.
Okay.
People always discredit them.
I will say at one point I called him Weak Mill, but that's when he was beefing with Drake because I like Drake.
Okay,
and I thought that his clapbacks was awful.
That's understandable.
But I realized hindsight 2020, I like more Meek than I thought I liked. Right. And there's some stuff that he put out there that like speaks to me now. His old stuff, yeah. So Rod Wave, Meek, Wayne.
I gotta go with Luther for me, and people hate me for it, with R. Kelly.
Okay.
As far as just the music.
Just music. Luther Vandross and R. Kelly.
Yes.
Kelly.
I think them two.
R. Kelly still.
Yes.
R. Kelly.
So for me, like people hate me for it, but I distinguish the life and the music.
Yeah.
Like the body of R&B that he's put together.
I Believe I Can Fly, man.
I don't think it can be touched. As far as on a music standpoint.
Yeah, on a music standpoint, absolutely.
Right.
On a personal standpoint,
I just let him mind his business.
Wow. And I mean, even Chappelle made fun when they're like, we don't know if R. Kelly did it. And
right.
Really?
Right.
How much information do we need about R. Kelly? So R. Kelly's in jail right now, singing I Believe I Can Fly.
Right.
and I hope he hears this. Keenan Ollison appreciates your music still. That's gonna give him a little happy tear.
Yeah. You gotta keep it separate.
R. Kelly. Wow. Okay. I mean, I get it.
When you go through the body of work, out like the Chocolate Factory, there's not one skip on the album.
But when you go back and you listen, and some of the songs R. Kelly's like, he's like, I'm a freak. I'm like, we all know R. Kelly. You don't have to tell us anymore. Like, we got it. Like, there's certain things R. Kelly never has to say.
Right. It was a lot.
Yeah.
It came back to bite him.
Yeah. When you go back and you listen to some of his lyrics, you're like, oh, so he was like hiding in plain sight.
No, I definitely get that. I definitely get it.
So for Keenan Ollison here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora making history, we appreciate you being here with us. Come out and see him and support your Saxons of all sports. Keenan, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.